You ever sit down to do something, something really important, and the next thing you know, your mind's just gone. You're scrolling your phone, checking social media, or just daydreaming. It's a struggle we all know, right? This world is just packed with distractions. But here's a thought. What if unlocking your true potential isn't about getting smarter? What if it's all about mastering that wandering mind? Let's dive into that. Because a disciplined mind, well, it can be your greatest superpower.
So, why isn't just being smart enough to get you where you want to go? It's a question that trips up a lot of really talented folks. We tend to think that raw intelligence is the golden ticket, but that's not the whole story, not even close. To really get why, we're going to follow the story of a student named Ryan. His experience, well, it answers this question perfectly.
All right, so let's meet Ryan. This kid is brilliant, okay? The kind of person everyone looks at and just agrees, yeah, he's got unlimited potential. And he has this huge dream. He wants to become a doctor. The goal is crystal clear, the path is right there in front of him. But Ryan has this one major problem, and it has nothing to do with how smart he is. It's all about his focus.
I mean, does this sound familiar to you? Every single time Ryan sat down to study, his mind would just get hijacked. A little ping from his phone, a quick scroll on Facebook that turns into 20 minutes, or, just one more YouTube video. And if it wasn't that, he'd just be lost in a daydream. His mind was just constantly restless. And his study time? Yeah, it was definitely paying the price.
And this was his favorite excuse, right? I'll study later, there's still plenty of time. He really truly believed that his natural intelligence was his safety net. That he could just cram at the last minute and still pull it off. But that is such a dangerous way of thinking, because it just leads to putting things off again and again. And for a lot of us, later, well, it has a funny way of never showing up.
Okay, so every story has that moment, right? That turning point. For Ryan, it was the big school scholarship exam. This was not just any test. For him, winning the scholarship was everything. It was a huge step toward his dream of becoming a doctor. The stakes were incredibly high. His whole future felt like it was riding on this one single result.
And when the results were posted, it was heartbreaking. He failed. And to add insult to injury, his friends, the ones who were disciplined, who studied regularly, they all did great. This wasn't just a bad grade. It was a huge, painful, public wake-up call that his whole approach was just wrong.
So that night, he's just sitting there feeling totally ashamed, and it hits him, this huge realization. It wasn't a lack of intelligence that held him back, it was his lack of discipline. He finally got it. Talent without control, it's like a ship without a rudder. You're just drifting. And that was the moment, the exact moment he decided things had to change.
Okay, so he's totally determined to fix this. Ryan starts looking for help, and he finds Coach Miller. Now, Coach Miller was the school's physical education teacher, but he was known for a lot more than just gym class. He had this reputation, you see, for helping even the most scattered, unfocused students learn discipline and, get some real self-control.
Coach Miller's first lesson, well, it didn't happen in a classroom. He takes Ryan out to the school playground with a toy bow and arrow. Simple enough, right? He says, hit the center of that target. So Ryan shoots, and he misses. The coach asks him, so what were you looking at? And Ryan's honest. He says, well, the trees, the field, and, oh yeah, the target. And bam, that was it. The perfect metaphor for Ryan's whole problem. The coach laid it out for him. Your focus is just as scattered as your gaze was. It's being pulled by your phone, by social media, by your daydreams. He told him to succeed, you have to learn to aim all of your attention, every bit of it, at your one goal when you're studying. You got to block out everything else.
So Ryan totally got the lesson. But, an idea is one thing. He needed a real, practical plan. And Coach Miller gave him exactly that. A simple, actionable 4-step plan to finally tame that wandering mind.
And the plan was pretty straightforward. Rule number 1, control your thoughts. When you catch your mind wandering, and you will, don't beat yourself up. Just gently pull it back to what you're doing. Number 2, make a routine. You got to create and stick to a daily schedule for studying and for resting. This trains your brain. It teaches it when it's time to work and when it's okay to chill. Number 3, keep distractions away. This one is huge. We're not just talking about putting your phone face down on the desk. We're talking put it in another room, out of sight, out of mind. And finally, number 4, practice every single day. Think of discipline like a muscle. You build it up with small, consistent workouts every day, not some huge heroic effort once a month.
And just like that, Ryan got to work. He laid out a strict routine for himself. The phone got turned off during study time.
And whenever his mind started to drift, he'd catch it and just gently but firmly remind himself of his goal. I'm going to be a doctor. And let me tell you, it was not easy, especially in the beginning.
This kind of thing doesn't happen overnight, right? Those first few days, they were a real struggle, but he stuck with it. And after a few months of being consistent, something amazing happened. He realized he could study for hours without getting distracted. And then, a year later, all that hard work paid off in the biggest way possible. He won the scholarship. He actually did it.
But wait, the story doesn't even end there. It gets better. The very next big exam he took, he didn't just pass. He didn't just get the scholarship, he ranked first. Number 1. This was the ultimate proof, wasn't it? His transformation was real. This wasn't about his talent anymore. This was a direct result of his hard-earned discipline.
And that analogy from Coach Miller, it just captures this whole lesson so perfectly, doesn't it? The mind is like a wild horse. If you don't control it, it's going to drag you all over the place, chasing every little distraction. But if you train it, if you train it, it will become your most powerful ally, taking you exactly where you want to go.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? It's simple, really. Think of your mind like an instrument. Your intelligence, that's just its potential. But discipline, that's how you learn to actually play it. When you train your mind with focus, with consistency, something incredible happens. You stop having to chase success. It starts to follow you.
Hey, if you found this story helpful and you want more stuff like this, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Daily English Practice. And don't forget to follow our Facebook page too, also called Daily English Practice. The links for both are right down in the description. Thanks so much for tuning in.